WinShape Camps started as a program to intentionally influence boys in the 80s. And over the past 30 years, it's expanded to have 4 overnight camps and day camps in over 81 cities this year. And in 2009, we decided to take that camp program and to launch it internationally in Brazil, because we saw that the influence that it had in people's lives was truly transforming. Camp is something that's really familiar to a lot of us in the U.S., but here that's not a concept that Brazilians are familiar with. And so to bring that thing here and share it with others is really influential. It's truly shaping the form of ministry that's happening inside of churches. We bring teams of students down from the U.S. and we partner with local churches to train them in something that we found is a really successful tool and platform to engage others in ministry and to share the message of Jesus Christ. And so we work with these local partners and these nationals, volunteers from churches, hoping that one day we're no longer in the picture teaching them how to do camp or doing camp with them, but they're able to do this type of ministry on their own. We've seen so many things happen, and the Lord's used the ministry to not only touch individual lives, but to change families, to change churches, and ultimately to truly transform communities here in this country.
Going down to Brazil my first year, I saw 2 things. I saw a community that was in a lot of want and a lot of need, and they just needed to feel the love of Jesus, and they needed to hear about what He had done for us. And then I also saw people in the community and people in the church who were doing so much to try and reach these kids. It's been amazing to work with churches here in Brazil, and for the pastor to catch on to the vision of camp, and the volunteers just to take ownership of the program and of camp, and for us just to have an incredible week doing ministry together.
Jesus Cristo nos deixou uma missão. Ele, como maná, como pão vivo, o pão da vida, que veio do céu, veio trazer libertação. Mas eu acredito que, e a visão da nossa igreja, é uma visão de salvação, santidade e serviço. O WinShape tem sido, como eu disse anteriormente, um grande parceiro. E eu tenho observado que, a partir do WinShape também, essa comunidade passou a ser uma comunidade voltada às crianças. Hoje nós somos uma igreja que temos um foco, uma visão voltada para as crianças. O WinShape tem sido um parceiro, um agente de Deus transformador na comunidade. Eu tenho recebido aqui muitos e muitos casos, além de famílias que agora são cristãs, graças ao WinShape, porque uma criança aceitou Jesus e depois os pais se tornaram agora cristãos. Mas eu tenho visto a transformação dos lares, a transformação de vidas. Não é simplesmente um acampamento de 4 dias, mas é a busca de uma realidade de santificação na vida de uma cidade.
I've seen the Lord orchestrate so many things that we could have never imagined to have happened, and He's provided such unique partnerships and relationships with a team of people who we didn't anticipate to have. And now we have people who are involved that work on camp all year long, that are in Brazil, who are passionate about the ministry, who want to see this ministry grow with us. The kingdom is growing because of the connection of camp and the platform that it has in the community.
When the week is over and we come back to the States, but still staying in touch with the people who are in that city, in Brazil and in that community, seeing photos of how their children's ministry looks so similar to camp, and just how they have taken what we kind of brought and what we did together, and they've just taken that and run with it and made it their own, and continue to keep the kids inside the church walls. And so it's a ministry that's near to my heart and that I love, and I just will love to see how it continues to grow.
Eu vou definir o treinamento que o WinShape oferece como extraordinário, porque o treinamento ele oferece muito mais do que uma energia positiva, mas oferece principalmente subsídios para que nós possamos trabalhar e dar continuidade. Aqui em nossa igreja nós temos a ideia de continuidade. E como eu disse, não se trata de um acampamento de 4 dias, mas é um acampamento que vai terminar quando nós estivermos diante do nosso Senhor, quando nós estivermos todos diante de Deus. E assim apresentarmos as nossas crianças, os nossos adultos, as nossas famílias restauradas e trabalhadas. Sim, eu posso dizer que o acampamento é extraordinário. A visão, a forma como nos ensina a lidar com as crianças. Eu mesmo aprendi muito. Meu nome é Pastor Rony, eu amo o WinShape Camps, eu amo as pessoas que trabalham, eu amo tudo que é feito aqui.
On Thursday nights, we think it's a good idea to have parents come in and their families as a way for the church to connect and to build relationships with these people, hoping that those relationships would last throughout the year and years to come. And during this time, this woman, she came up to me and she grabbed both of my wrists and she started shaking my wrists and just speaking to me really quickly in Portuguese. And Regina told me this story about her walking through the community and hearing all these noises and all these sound and this music, and it was so loud, it was so alarming that it took her off guard, and she stopped in the middle of the street where she was and she looked, and where she looked was inside of camp. We were singing songs and dancing and having a lot of fun, and she said she looked into that church door and she saw faces of children and of our team and these Brazilian church members, and she saw something about what was happening in that place that was just different. There was something that was magnetic and drawing to her about the presence that was in the place. And she said because that presence was so strong there, I had to return and see what it was all about. And so the following Sunday, she decided to continue going back there. She came to know the Lord, she met the Lord at church, and she now serves in the children's ministry a year later. Camp is 4 days out of the year, but its influence and its reach is far beyond that. And if things like that are happening from the sound of music that's coming from a building, I can only imagine what the Lord's going to continue to do with this ministry as the years go by.
WinShape Camps é resposta de oração que eu fiz a Deus, e Deus me enviou não apenas missionários, mas amigos e irmãos. I love you.